Y'all, all I'm going to say is God be guarding. God be guarding. And God stays showing up. Let me say this way. There we go. God stays showing up before you even show up. Like, let me make this make sense. Like, God be answering before the answer even be answering. Like, let me explain. So, point is, right, there is something that took place that really bothered my spirit. And it was to a sense of like a family member trying to kind of basically come for my parenting skills and kind of trying to tell me what they going to do in regards to my child, to do something how they want to do it in regards to my child, right? And I was not okay with that. Like, I was just like, this is my child. The way I decide to do something is the way that I'm going to do it. The timing, etc. This is how it's going to be done. So it's like, who are you to tell me? You know what I'm saying? A person who is not their parent, who I don't really have no dealings with like that. You know, who are you to tell me what it is that you're going to do when it comes to my kid? How you going to do it? When you going to do it? You just volunteering your services, not even asking me, is that okay? You know? So the point of it is, I'm like, okay, God, you see what's happening. You know, I really wanted to address the situation in a certain way. Like, I didn't want to, like, cuss the person out or nothing like that, but I really wanted to, like, address it in a particular way. And God was like, hold out on it. Just wait. So I'm just like, God, you see what's going on. So yeah, I'm going to need you to handle that. So before this person could make their plans, like this person was making the plans to set up their ride, to get to my residence, to set this whole thing up of what they wanted to do with my child that I still have yet to approve of. They just volunteered themselves to say, well, hey, I want to do this for the child. So therefore, you need to let me do this for the child because you haven't done this for the child yet. Put it like that. I'm not, going to put the whole scenario out there yet, but I will explain more in another video. However, I was like, oh no, that's not happening. So God, intervene. When I tell you God intervened before I even could say intervene, these people have these plots and plans to do certain things to irritate your spirit, to, get under your skin, to do whatever. And God is like, listen, I know it all, and I'm not going to allow the things that used to happen now. There's situations with your family members that people have gotten away with doing certain things and have used certain forms of manipulation before in the past when you were a child. But God is saying no longer. No longer will these people treat you like you're a dummy, like you're unintelligent, like you can't think for yourself, like you can't do for yourself, like you don't know how to raise your kids, like you don't know what you're doing. No longer can they do that to you. No longer can they push their opinions and project their ways of parenting or whatever of how they want to do things onto you. No longer can they do that. No longer will this be the season of any form of manipulation, okay? Bottom line is, I was in prayer for this particular situation today. And this situation of this person mentioning what they want to do and how they want to do it happened 2 days ago. And I sat on that thing and I was like, God, what they don't know is whatever they trying to do is not about to happen, and I'm not allowing it when it comes to my child. The simple fact is, I was like, God, before I pop off and tell them where they can sit and where they can go, let me pray. I wasn't really feeling too well, these past 2 days, but I was like, God, it's something different about today. And I heard a prophetic word that a young lady was saying, like, hey, God is saying you're distracted. You need to get focused and get in my presence. And sure enough, I really wasn't even trying to do it. I was like, yeah, God, I'm going to pray, but I'm not going to pray right now. And God was like, pray right now. So I was like, okay. So I ended up praying. I went into prayer. I was in prayer for about an hour. And next thing you know, the thing that I was praying about, for God to cancel all the plots and plans and schemes of manipulation or schemes of whatever these people trying to plan to stop it, right? Whole time, God had already stopped it earlier this morning. And I didn't even see it. You get what I'm saying? I was in prayer in the afternoon time, wasn't paying attention to, a particular text message, didn't even know that God said before the plans could start planning, I canceled the plans. So I'm just here to tell you that before you even say anything out your mouth about what it is that you need God to do, God has already done it. Before people can even plot and plan and scheme and try to do anything, God has already stopped the plan. Okay? So I was even asking God in prayer. I said, God, in the midst of me praying, I need you to stop this thing. Because I know that if certain plans go about, if certain things are orchestrated, and anybody pulls up to my residence and does certain things, it's going to be war. So the plan that this particular family member had to pair with another person that I see as an enemy to make this whole plan surrounding my kid that I didn't give them, once again, the permission to do, God put a stop to it. Because he know that I'm in a season where I'm not trying to be in no type of confrontation, and I definitely don't want my peace disturbed. So God was like, I'm going to handle it. I know the reasons why they're doing what they're doing, but as I stated in the beginning, no more will they do the things that they've done to you that they used to do when you were a child. I say all that to say because for all of my mothers out there, or for all of my single parents out there, or whatever the case may be, for all my parents out there in general, sometimes we have family members and people in our life that look at us like we're not good parents. They don't understand our ways of teaching. They don't understand our ways of upbringing them. They don't understand the reasons why we keep them away from certain activities, keep them away from certain family members, certain family functions. They don't understand it, but they keep trying their hardest to insert themselves. Okay? Thank you, Holy Spirit. They're trying their hardest to insert themselves in your life and in your children's life and in your life in some way to irritate your spirit. In your life in some way to get under your skin. In your life in some way to try to find out what's going on when you have already cut these people off. They are trying their hardest. And God is saying it's not happening. So let me finish telling you the story. Like I said, I was in prayer asking God to cancel these plots and plans. Whole time, I had got a text message in the morning time that I didn't even know was there that was already stating that their plans had to be canceled. And God intervened before I could even ask him. He knew what the plans was. So the person in my family that was trying to connect with somebody that's kind of outside of my family to try to get a ride over to my residence and try to do this and try to do that again, to try to make plans for my kid for something I didn't give him permission for, God put a stop to it. God allowed for that person's way of transportation to be messed up. So that way, that whatever this family member was planning, you don't have a way now. Your only way of getting here and trying to cause a scene, cause mess and cause drama and have to get me to tell you off and all of that, it failed. So once again, like I said, God will intervene before you ask him to intervene. God will show up before you ask him to show up. God will have already answered the prayer before you even say what it is that you got to say. God has already canceled whatever plot, plans, and schemes of the enemy before the plot, plan, and scheme can even get into motion. My God. Before the scheme could even get into motion, before the weapon could even try to form, God has took the weapon out of its form before it can form, so it will not even prosper. It has no way to prosper. God has taken every arrow sent to destroy you, broke the bow, sent the bow back to pierce the heart of the person who sent it. So bottom line, when you feel prompted to pray, you better pray. Because my prayer was answered, and I didn't even know it was answered before I even asked. Woo! So it's beyond all of that. There's people who's looking for a financial breakthrough. There's people who is looking for breakthrough in many areas of your life today. And God is saying, I already answered the prayer before you asked. The money is already on the way. The money is already there. The answer is already there. It's probably in your phone and you don't even know it. Check your Cash App. Check your PayPal. Okay, check your accounts. Because the answer for what you're looking for is already in front of you somewhere. You didn't even see it. You didn't even know that God already answered you before you could even ask. God already went before you. Because he knew what was about to take place. He knows exactly what you need before you need it. He is your provider. He will do exceedingly above all you can ask or think. He will provide all your needs. So I don't have a specific scripture or nothing. You know, wherever I post this at, I might post it in a bio, in the description, whatever. In the description. But yes, I just want you to know that God will answer you before you can even answer. Because in my situation, God was trying to get me to answer to him to pray. And before I could even answer to him, he already had the answer. And before I could even pray and before I could even ask, the answer was answered. The answer I was looking for was answered. What I needed done was already done. My Lord. Y'all have a good day.